Speaking of like challenges, like the 2010s New Japan era along for a lot of my friends is kind of like it's our versions of 90s All Japan, right? Like,
yeah.
Like what was that?
It was a bit
like,
of a boom that time, yeah.
Yeah, like what was that? Especially like, you know, how well.
That was my starting. I was starting in the States then.
Especially with how well like Bushiroad kind of exploded in that time. Like, what was it like being in that competitive environment with your, because it's not exactly like we can have DVDs or interviews with Okada or Tanahashi or Naito.
I think that's actually kind of a cool thing to me, because that's what keeps their mystique is so high. Because of that, you don't hear much from them. So when you do hear like these press conferences, you kind of like tune in and zone in a little bit more to what they're saying.
Right. Yep.
If they do release any kind of outside,
you try to read the body language. You try to read like the inflection of their words. Like, what could it be that they're feeling? And then you kind of get an idea of it because of just the universal body language of it all. And
that's amazing. You guys can do that. That's amazing.
Dude, it's the art, man.
Like what was it like being in that competitive environment, just like pushing yourself as a performer, like, and knowing like those guys, like either I have to follow these guys or they have to follow me, and this is like the 27 Yankees of guys of this era. How did you operate in that?
So, boy, it was like you said, it was super competitive back in those days because you had the homegrown talent there that was incredible. So you had guys like Ishii, you had guys like Nakamura, Tanahashi, who was still very healthy at the time, Okada, who they were really building as the next big thing. Naito was on a huge kick at that point. Then you had Fergal, Finn Balor, for the guys that only know him from there, who was just, people probably don't remember, they just don't know, but he was insanely popular as a junior back then.
Yes,
they loved him. They absolutely loved him.
The most popular juniors.
Yes, absolutely. And then on top of that, when we have these best of Super Juniors, which would be probably more or less my only chance to really shine and get work there, they would have guys like Alex Shelley come in, Davey Richards come in.
Oh, God, yes.
Then you'd have the Michinoku Pro guys like Hayato Fujita and guys that are just, they bring it on a different kind of level. And it's like, what are the fans going to gravitate towards? What is going to stick out in their minds? And I was thinking just like, whatever I do, I have to, for one, know and respect my place in the card. Luckily, I was given the opportunity to be in most of the semis and the mains, whether it be because of my All Japan run or just because maybe the DDT thing. I don't know, but I was in that position where I was like, okay, I can cut loose a little bit. That's great. So it's always like, find that one thing. Maybe I can't kick like Hayato. Maybe I can't kick like Ibushi. Maybe I can't do high flying like Jack Evans or Ibushi. Or maybe I don't have I'm not built the way that like Davey is or something like that. You know what I mean? But I would have to find something original and unique that would stand out amongst everybody else and just give it my all, because I really felt, at least at that time, my conditioning was, and my just my dynamic movement was probably one of the things that stood out the most for me. So I was like, okay, I'm going to make it look like I'm working hard. Not make it look like I'm going to work hard, going to work hard and just be real dynamic, be real active with the selling. And just show people something that maybe they haven't seen. And if maybe when they review that show in the back of their mind, something that I did will stick out, hopefully. And, but at the same time, I'm not going to do that I don't want to do that at the risk of cutting the legs up from somebody else. Right. I don't want to do that at the risk of making whoever's supposed to win or be in the top 4 of this tournament look any less of a competitor. I really wanted to contribute as a soldier for New Japan, in the best way that I could.